What imprint do we leave on the planet? And each of us are so unique and divine in the way that we are. But I would have to say, am I? Yeah. I would have to say that we can be encouragers for others. I know that I have been encouraged a hell of a lot from. So I posted a couple of days ago about how I feel like disconnecting, but at the same time still being connected. I'll put that video link below. But oh my God, it is December the 18th. And y'all, why is it 71 degrees? And before I even came outside, I started sneezing, and I'm realizing that Mother Nature is confused. It's the pollen. Oh my God. But I'm having good sneezes. You know how you have a sneeze? You're like, whoa, that felt good to get that sneeze out. Or you have an itch and it feels good to scratch it. I'm going to get me some lunch. It just feels so good out. This is my favorite type of weather. Feeling the sun. I'm tempted to go to the park. I wish I had my sound bowls with me. That's how it feels in this moment. Looking for a parking space. I wanted to come and get some lunch and then sit back in my car. I have my journal with me because I am planning, revisioning. But my channel, in this season right now, I'm talking about living an awakened life. And I'm talking about the nuances of spiritually awakening. And I especially, not to cut anyone off, but because spiritual awakening can happen to anyone at every season of life. But specifically, sorry guys, those of you who are over 50, and I'm seeing, I'm seeing people on YouTube encouraging us to come out and just kind of flow with however we want to flow and sharing our wisdom. And so, I think a lot about legacy. I think a lot about, my imprint on the world, or just we as beings leaving an imprint on the world. And what are you going to leave? What are you going to leave? I've been an encourager on my I've been an encourager. I call myself a spiritual encourager. I started writing poems and spiritual writings. Perhaps I'll begin to share some of those things going all the way back to 2002 as a single parent, as a Black woman, the things that I would write as I'm having this conversation with creative essence, with Holy Spirit, with God, So what do we leave? Yeah, what imprint do we leave on the planet? And each of us are so unique and divine in the way that we are. But I would have to say, I would have to say that we can be encouragers for others. I know that I have been encouraged a hell of a lot from what I see here in this world. On social media, YouTube helped me start my business, my hair business. I mean, I learned how to do techniques for the specific natural protective styling, that I've been in business for 10 years. So, legacy, what do we leave? What are you leaving, Chakra Wanda? What imprint? And so, speaking to others who vibrate, I pray that I attract like-minded energies specifically women over 50, specifically African American women that can relate to this. Maybe your journey through religion, or you transition from the idea of religion and you've expanded more into your beingness as a spiritual being. You're intuitive, you're wired that way, right? Many of us do not like to occupy just any kind of space or with any kind of people, right? But you have a message. You have something that you want wisdom. You want to leave wisdom, and that's where I'm at. I desire to share wisdom. I consider myself a teacher and a student in every single moment. But I'm a multi-passionate, multi-creative. I said that a lot. I noticed that for me, it's hard to really stay constrained to any one pattern, if you will, right? So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm spontaneous, but I have a lot that I want to share. I have a lot that I want to say. And some of you do too, right? How are you navigating your spiritual awakening? How you're coming out of the closet? Did you experience church hurt? Where you are in your life right now, 50 plus. I'm going to hear from, let's say 40 plus, 50 plus, right? All of a sudden, you are now taking steps to activate living an awakened life, living in an authentic way. You've always had a desire to do something in your life that's the opposite of your work, of the way that you live, the way that you speak, the people that you deal with. And you'll find that there's some pains that it feel painful stripping away and fine tuning and filing down. But I would say that for those that are for those of you who are not in this idea of spiritual awakening and but you have someone in your family, how do you choose to unconditionally love as your loved one is going on that journey? I know it's got to be hard or challenging for those who come into a union, for example, a couple, right? You come into union and all of a sudden, you're walking on a particular path and spiritual awakening comes in there. And then it could seem like y'all maybe love is your relationship is challenged. Ooh, that's a topic in itself. Have I gone through that? No, because I avoid connecting with any energies that are not in alignment with how I am and who I am content in being. But spirituality, religion actually is one of the biggest challenges in relationships of all type, right? For some, there is no religion. They don't want to go, with any kind of doctrine that's been colonized, programmed. And then those of us that have evolved into more of a freer spirit, I think at the end of the day, acceptance is everything, But I do know what it feels like to connect with an opposite masculine energy in love relationship or connection and spiritual mutual respect for one another. Basically just a mutual respect for one another. Why does there have to be that when it comes to our spirituality, or those who embrace religion per se have to be a deal breaker? Because man, yeah, it's obvious, right? You got to be on the same page. It's important to be on the same page. Are you on the same page within your beingness on every level and part of you? So I was talking earlier about career and shifting change. When you recognize you want to go in a different direction, you really got to be laser focused. Laser focused. What I'm doing is looking at everything that I've experienced in all of the career journeys. And I'm here now at a different space of reharnessing, repurposing what I've already taken in. A beautiful banquet of life. I've learned how to eat taste certain things, experience certain things, and now I'm here to deliver and to serve and have been over some time. I want to go in here and get my lunch. Let me go get my lunch, and I'll continue this conversation. But I would love to hear in the comments, those of you who are over 50, preferably women, and especially African American women who are experiencing a spiritual awakening. Sis, how you flowing with that? How you doing? Have you been hiding, or have you stepped out completely? Do you have conditional love around you, or do you feel like you're in a battle of breaking those paradigms? Are you watching this in secret? You know, right? Am I speaking a language that you recognize? Let me hear from you in the comments. Let me go get my lunch.